guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I am making some yummy holiday treats. I'm starting with some slow cooker hot chocolate, some vegan pumpkin pie, and then I'm making some homemade cinnamon buns. My mom has been making these ever since I was a kid, and we eat them on Thanksgiving morning and on Christmas Eve. So I wanted to share these recipes with you guys from my home to yours. So I'm going to start first with the slow cooker hot chocolate. So you can use a pan to do this if you do not have a slow cooker, or you can use a slow cooker. I'm starting with cocoa powder, mixing it with a little bit of water. So I have about a tablespoon of cocoa powder mixed with 1/3 cup of hot water, mixing that together, and then I'm going to pour that in there. And then I'm going to be adding some bittersweet chocolate, about half of a bar of bittersweet chocolate. I'm adding some almond milk, and then I'm going to add half of a can of sweetened condensed milk, which this is completely optional, so it's up to you whether you want to add this, but it does give it a real nice thick hot chocolate, hot cocoa texture, so I really like that. I already added a cinnamon stick, but I'm adding a little bit of cinnamon and nutmeg, and I'm just going to give that a good mix. I'm going to turn it on to low and let that cook for 2 hours. If this recipe is too rich for you, you can omit the condensed milk and add 1 additional cup of hot water. And again, let it cook on low for 2 hours. So after it's had a chance to cook on low, you can begin serving it in a cup. And I'm going to add some of this coconut whipped cream that I'm going to make a little bit later, and I'll show you how to make that. But you want to make sure you remove the cinnamon stick first, and then you can just ladle in some hot chocolate. Okay, so next we are moving on to the vegan pumpkin pie recipe, which I gotta say, this recipe is absolutely to die for. It's delicious. I'm starting with 1 can of organic pureed pumpkin. I'm adding some full fat coconut milk in with that, and I'm mixing that together. And then I'm gonna add some brown sugar, cornstarch, and maple syrup. So many of you may not know, I actually have someone come and help me film my DIY and cooking videos, and that's usually because Byron's busy working on his content and on his projects, and the person who works on my videos, Shane, he is a vegan, so I liked to start making vegan recipes so that he can enjoy a lot of the recipes that I make once we're finished. So we really wanted to try to conquer a vegan pumpkin pie, and he definitely approved. I thought it was delicious, and my husband really liked it, so you can feed this to someone who is not a vegan and they will enjoy it because it's super yummy. So right now I'm adding in the maple syrup. I'm mixing that together, and then after I add in the maple syrup, I'm going to add in 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, 2 teaspoons of pumpkin pie spice, just a dash of salt, and a teaspoon of cinnamon. And then you want to find a vegan pie crust. You can find this at the most supermarkets. You just want to find one that was not made with butter. And I'm just going to go ahead and pour this mixture, once it's completely mixed, into the pie crust. So your oven should be preheated to 350 degrees Fahrenheit, and you're going to go ahead and put the pumpkin pie in there and bake it for 60 minutes. And then while that's baking, I'm going to go ahead and make the coconut whipped cream. All you need is 1 can of full fat coconut milk that has been refrigerated overnight. I'm taking out the hard portion, which will be at the top, so about, I would say, half of the can. And then I'm going to add some powdered sugar and some vanilla bean, and I'm going to go ahead and whip that up. After the pie has had a chance to bake for an hour, pull it out and put it into the refrigerator so it cools down, and then you can pull it out and you can cut a piece and add some of the coconut whipped cream on top. And again, this was it was probably one of the best pumpkin pies I've actually ever eaten. It was so good, and you couldn't really taste the coconut whipped cream like you think it wouldn't go, but it actually tasted so good together, and the combination was so delicious. So I would highly recommend this. We all ate it and loved it. Next, I'm making classic cinnamon buns. These taste just like cinnamon buns from the mall, and my mom used to make these every Thanksgiving. So I'm using Bridgeford frozen bread rolls. You can find these at Walmart or Ralph's. I'm just pulling them out, putting them onto a baking sheet, and I'm going to proof this in the oven for about 1 to 2 hours. You generally want to cover this with saran wrap, but I didn't get a chance to do it here, which it ended up being okay, but it's always better to put saran wrap over there when they're proofing. And then once they've had a chance to proof, which is basically just rise a little bit, and defrost, you're going to put them all together on a floured surface and roll it out. Next, you're going to take butter and you're just going to go ahead and smear that on top of the rolled out bread. I actually have Earth Balance in this case. My mom always used butter growing up, but I'm just using Earth Balance here, and I'm going to go ahead and spread that all over. And then I have a cinnamon sugar mix that I'm going to put the exact measurements below, but I'm going to take that sugar cinnamon mix and I'm going to go ahead and put that directly over the butter, and then I'm going to roll it and I'm going to cut it into little cinnamon rolls. As I roll it, you can see that I'm brushing a little bit of the Earth Balance butter onto the edges, rolling, brushing, rolling, brushing, and then I'm just going to roll it until it's a complete roll, and then, cut it up, put it on a baking sheet. And I went ahead and put these in the refrigerator to let them proof or rise a little bit more overnight. You can keep these out for a few more hours, like 1 or 2 more hours, and then bake them if you want. But since I wanted to have them for the morning, I just went ahead and put them in the refrigerator overnight. And then before you want to bake them, set your oven to 350 degrees, preheat it, let it warm up, and then you can put these in the oven for 18 to 20 minutes. Now, while those are cooking, I'm going to make a frosting with powdered sugar. I have the Earth Balance butter that has been melted, a little bit of vanilla bean and almond milk, and I'm going to mix this together, and that makes a fresh icing that will go on top of these cinnamon rolls. So I'm going to mix it, I'm going to whisk it together actually, and then I'm going to add this on top of the cinnamon rolls when they're finished. So when your cinnamon rolls are finished, you can go ahead and ice them and enjoy this very, very decadent, hence why I only have it once or twice a year, dessert that is amazing. And we definitely made it a tradition in my family to have it every Thanksgiving morning while we watch the parade. And it's just something we always remember and look forward to. So hopefully you try it out with your family and you enjoy it as much as we do, and you have a very happy holiday. All right, I'll see you guys in the next video, and have a happy Thanksgiving. Bye.